Bro, thank you for choosing this video. Welcome back to this channel, a haven for Chelsea news updates. So find a comfortable seat and grab a drink, because this time I'm presenting 10 stories about Chelsea off the pitch that you probably didn't know. I hope to reach 300 likes. By liking this video, I'm even more motivated to provide as much news as possible and as interesting as possible for you. And finally, please comment where you're from. I'd love to know which countries are watching this video.
Chelsea is gearing up for one of the most crucial nights in the Champions League when Barcelona travels to Stamford Bridge. The match will reportedly be broadcast live on Amazon Prime for viewers in the UK, while international viewers can follow the match via their respective Champions League broadcasting rights holders. Furthermore, Chelsea has prepared Matchday Live on the club's official app, starting 5 minutes before kickoff, complete with audio commentary, brief analysis, and minute-by-minute updates via Match Center. The Chelsea vs. Barcelona match will be played on Tuesday, November 25, 2025, at 8 p.m. UK time at Stamford Bridge. The atmosphere is sure to be heated, tensions are high, and the world's attention is on London. With confidence and the full support of the Blues in the stands, can Chelsea assert their ambitions on the European stage? Enzo Maresca reiterated that Chelsea are full of confidence ahead of their crucial Champions League clash with Barcelona. The Blues returned from the international break with a convincing 2-0 victory over Burnley, thanks to goals from Pedro Neto and Enzo Fernandez. The result extended Chelsea's unbeaten run to 5 consecutive matches in all competitions, a crucial asset ahead of facing the Spanish champions. Barcelona come to Stamford Bridge in sharp form, having scored 14 goals in their last 4 matches. This is also their first visit to West London since 2018. However, Maresca insisted his squad is not afraid of facing a team led by Lamine Yamal and coached by Hansi Flick. "We're confident. We're on the right track. There's still room for improvement, but this win is important ahead of Tuesday's game," Maresca said. Chelsea will be without Cole Palmer, who is out for 3 weeks with a toe injury suffered in an incident at home. This situation makes Maresca even more desperate for the full support of the Stamford Bridge crowd, especially since Chelsea immediately hosts Arsenal in a match that could shift the dynamics of the title race. Maresca said the fans play a major role in maintaining the team's momentum. If they can beat Barcelona, Chelsea has a chance to reach the top of the Champions League. And a win over Arsenal would put them even closer to the top of the table. With such a packed schedule, are the Blues ready to meet the 2 biggest tests of the season? Cole Palmer is back in the spotlight after reportedly suffering a setback in his injury recovery. Chelsea, fresh off an away win over Burnley, are now sitting in second place in the Premier League, but Palmer's absence remains significant. Although the Blues have found a way to win without him, many feel their performance hasn't been entirely convincing, especially with the challenging period ahead. It was reported that Palmer was actually nearing a return from a groin injury, but instead suffered a small fracture to his little toe. This additional injury has forced his comeback date to be reconsidered, especially ahead of 2 big matches against Barcelona in the Champions League and Arsenal this weekend. According to a report by The Telegraph, Palmer's left boot has been specially modified to allow him to return to training quickly. Chelsea hopes the attacking midfielder will be back in early December, specifically against Leeds United on December 3rd or Bournemouth on December 6th, provided his recovery progresses smoothly. However, the club is also cautious about overexerting the player, given that his season has been disrupted by several injuries. Palmer himself is believed to be eager to return as soon as possible, especially as his playing time for the England national team is starting to dwindle. With competition for the number 10 spot tight ahead of the World Cup, can Palmer recover in time and become Chelsea's creative force again? Marcus Rashford is reportedly recovering ahead of Barcelona's big match against Chelsea at Stamford Bridge. The English striker had previously missed training but reportedly returned to the squad at Ciutat Esportiva on Sunday. In a brief Instagram post, Rashford wrote that he was feeling better, a positive sign ahead of the return trip to England for the Champions League clash. Rashford is well versed in Chelsea's experience. Throughout his career, he has appeared 21 times against the Blues, recording 7 wins, 8 draws, and 6 losses. His individual record is also quite impressive, with 6 goals and 5 assists, making him a frequent source of trouble for the Chelsea defense. However, there's no guarantee he'll start. Rafinha recently recovered and made his comeback against Athletic, and is even scheduled to attend the pre-match press conference, a strong indication that he could start. However, Rashford remains a valuable option off the bench, particularly given his Premier League experience and deep understanding of the Stamford Bridge atmosphere. With his fitness starting to improve and his motivation high ahead of facing his old rivals, will Rashford be the difference maker for Barcelona again in London? Reece James is back in the spotlight ahead of the big match against Barcelona. The Chelsea captain clarified his situation with an 11-word Instagram post after being substituted at half-time during the 2-0 win over Burnley. The substitution had initially raised concerns among fans, given his long injury history. It was reported that James didn't actually have any serious issues. He played solidly for 45 minutes, before Enzo Maresca made his frequent rotations this season. The Italian coach even confirmed that James is now in top condition and ready to play 3 times a week. Ahead of the Champions League match at Stamford Bridge, James posted a short message, "P.S. I'm all good, see you Tuesday." A statement that immediately reassured the London faithful. Meanwhile, Malo Gusto also continues to impress. The young French defender scored his first goal in the 3-0 win over Wolves and is reportedly set for a new contract. Maresca believes Gusto is a key player in Chelsea's long-term project. With both right-backs in top form, will the Blues be at their best when they host Barcelona? Chelsea and Barcelona enter the Champions League clash with a lengthy fitness list. Reece James was reportedly a cause for concern after being substituted early against Burnley, but Enzo Maresca confirmed the substitution was planned and the captain has no new injuries. Meanwhile, Wesley Fofana also missed the last league match as a precaution, with no serious issues. For Cole Palmer, the situation is different. According to reports, he was close to returning from a groin injury before suffering a minor incident that fractured his toe. This condition has ruled him out for at least another week, making him unlikely to feature when Chelsea host Barcelona. For the visitors, Pedri is certain to miss out. The young midfielder has not fully recovered from a hamstring problem, and Barcelona has chosen not to take any risks. Meanwhile, Marcus Rashford remains a doubt due to illness, although a chance of featuring remains open if his condition improves before the match. Marc-Andre ter Stegen and Gavi remain long-term absentees. With both teams tied on 7 points in the league standings, this clash at Stamford Bridge at 8 p.m. UK time will be crucial. With players in less than ideal condition on both sides, who do you think is better equipped to capitalize on this crucial situation? Chelsea is once again in the spotlight ahead of their big Champions League clash as Barcelona travels to Stamford Bridge. This match is being touted as one of the most dangerous for both teams, given their inconsistent form in Europe. Chelsea are reportedly currently 12th in the Champions League standings, while Barcelona are just above them in 11th. Chelsea come into this match on the back of a 5-match unbeaten run, including a routine 2-0 victory over Burnley that lifted them to second in the Premier League. Barcelona are also on fire after thrashing Athletic Bilbao 4-0 and are unbeaten in their last 4 matches. However, their defensive record in Europe remains fragile, with 7 goals conceded, the second worst in the round of 16. Historically, this match has been full of drama. Barcelona won 4-1 on aggregate in 2018, but fans still remember the epic 2012 encounter when Chelsea held a 2-2 draw at Camp Nou to advance to the final. This season, Chelsea have been particularly strong at home, beating Benfica and crushing Ajax 5-1. Barcelona reportedly maintains the lead, but Chelsea is boosted by the Stamford Bridge crowd. With both teams equally explosive, the match is predicted to end in a 2-2 draw. Will this match produce another legendary moment like previous seasons' encounters? Bro. Chelsea's lineup against Barcelona is insane. Maresca really fielded all the players who were on fire, plus there were some decisions that immediately got fans debating. Here are the reasons why each of them was chosen, and why the others were substituted. Goalkeeper, Robert Sanchez, gaining momentum with 3 clean sheets in 4 matches. His form is stable, so he's kept. Right back, Reece James, subbed against Burnley just to maintain his fitness. He's a must-play in a game of this magnitude. Centre-back, Wesley Fofana, bent entirely against Burnley precisely because he was prepared specifically for Barcelona. He's quicker and stronger to guard Yamal. Centre-back, Benoit Badiashile, just recovered, but his progressive left foot is crucial for build-up play against Barca's high press. Left back, Marc Cucurella, consistent, his energy gives Chelsea a path of progression down the left. DM, Moises Caicedo, returns to the starting lineup, replacing Andre Santos. His experience and physicality are crucial in Europe. CM, Enzo Fernandez, he's been prolific in goals, and Maresca needs his creativity and long-range shooting. RW, Estevao Willian, rested against Burnley specifically to allow him to explode against Barcelona. The match against Lamine Yamal will be a heated one. AM, João Pedro, Palmer is likely still out, so Pedro will retain the number 10 role. LW, Pedro Neto, steady in form, difficult to dislodge. Moved to the left to exploit the space behind Barca's fullbacks. ST, Liam Delap, given another chance to find goals after a long absence. His mobility is better suited to high-intensity play. With this lineup, can Chelsea crush Barca? Or will Yamal be a nightmare at the bridge?